What were you saying about Kareem?
I'm just
You
telling
said
people, like, watch out. Like, you think you might just be going for a walk, and then somebody gonna come and swoop you up and throw you up into the heavens, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But I'm just saying, watch out for Kareem Grimes.
hey, yeah, was it Gumby by Love? Gumby Love. Yeah, man. We was on for an hour, so Instagram has it to where it cuts you off an hour. It was going in.
We were.
We was going in.
Mm.
So let's have some real moments, like as a married couple. How difficult sometimes is it to be married to me?
You sure you want to do this
Yeah, let's do it
on live?
on live. Listen, we trying to help couples, man. We trying to help couples stay. Kelly sound like one of the stormtroopers. You think I know? It's all her. That sound was terrible.
Is it still bad?
No, it's great now. Just stay there. Don't move.
Kareem, man, sir. How difficult is it to be married to you? Listen, the amazing thing about marriage is a mirror. The difficulty that I may have had with you was just simply a reflection of what was going on in me. And so, I was just telling somebody the other day, like, I felt like, nobody would ever describe me as selfish or not giving. Your girlfriend's. Thank you, Kareen. Thank you. That is better.
Hold on. Ty said my girlfriend's on here too, and we're in the same house.
Alexis,
Sister Alexis. Oh, we gonna get to that in a minute too.
So I think getting to the realization that the difficulties that I was dealing with in my marriage concerning my husband was just simply a reflection of the things that I was struggling with in myself. Fireproof. Maybe a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a really good movie. That was a really good movie. Fireproof. That was one with Cameron. What's his name? From the show. Dang, something Cameron. Not James Cameron. Is it James Cameron? It's a Christian-based film. It was Fireproof.
I think we have it.
Yeah, Fireproof is really good. It helps married couples. Man, that's the thing is, I think, like she said, being married is not an easy thing, but understanding that you are looking in a mirror. So what you think you're talking about what someone else is doing, also you gotta remember what you're doing as well. And I think that, definitely being married to Kelly, she is strengthening me as a man of God, making me just see things and have even a better insight on certain things. And I think that's important when you a woman can tell you things to try to stagnate you, or she can tell you things to make you better, or she can just be a dominant person. You just like, do what I say because my way is the right way. And what I had to learn was that it wasn't that always her way was the right way. It was the best way to go about the situation, because it's about how do we get to the next level. You and this daggone spider, leave the spider alone.
I'm gonna kill it because it's like.
Kareem said James Cameron ain't no connection to it. No, it's something Cameron from.
They said Kirk. They said Kirk.
Okay, Kirk Cameron. Dang, you ain't got to yell.
Sister, I'm trying to tell him to come get this spider. Chester, he still ain't came to get this spider yet.
I will get the spider, man. Spider dead.
Oh, it's okay. I'm gonna get it.
The spider is dead. Stay focused, man.
I got it.
Oh my God. Stay focused. Wow. I told you, leave it alone. See? What is happening here? What is happening? I told you, leave the spider alone, man.
It was still alive. It was still. I know. Sister, that's what I'm saying. I thought like I got it, but it was still moving.
Yo, it was like a movie, yo. It was a movie, yo. You screamed at it. Is it yo? I was like, did I need to come upstairs? Fucking fail. See y'all.
I know it was small, but like you gotta understand. See, now I'm sweating and I'm hot.
So check this out, y'all. I set myself up when I was dating Kelly because I went above and beyond. I feel like I was trying to set the bar high for other men, so nobody was like come come in and try to step to her like they needed to come correct if they was trying to, you know, come in after me. So I set the bar. So say if she had a spider in her house, be on the phone, I drive to her house 30 minutes away and I go come kill a spider for her if she needed me to. So when I'm doing stuff, when I'm not doing stuff, why y'all not in the same room? We'll talk about that later, Jay. But what I'm saying is that as I'm married to her now, when I don't do things that I used to do as I was dating, she's like, well, what would dating Melvin do? So she constantly reminds me of the bar that I set high for not just my other dudes, but for myself as well, to make sure that I constantly stay at that level. So
no. Let me say. Okay, is this what? Thank you, sister. Tell him it's not the size of the spider; it's a spider, and it is the devil. You're right. So let me tell you something. Melvin did set himself up, and my mama told him. She said, if you are not the man that you are presenting yourself to be, all you're going to have to worry about is me answering the police officers on what color jumpsuit I want to wear. This man, for my birthday, came to my party with a box and a big old bag in his hand, 2 pairs of shoes, a purse, chocolate diamond earring and necklace set. And then we have been talking about how I wanted, like it was a long day and I needed to get a 5-hour energy drink. And then I forgot. And he was like, did you get it? And I was like, no, I didn't get it, but I'm totally, I'm just kidding. I'm totally fine. And then I go to the restroom, come back out. Everybody's saying happy birthday. And somebody's like, where's Melvin? I said, I don't know. I turn around. He's putting a 5-hour energy drink in my hand. This dude has run from the Federal. Okay. From the Federal to the 7-Eleven on hunger. Okay. So I don't know how far that is. It's like maybe, I don't know how far it is.
It's a good little ways. It's a good little ways.
Yeah. It's far to be running. But this dude ran to go get me a 5-hour energy drink, was like so on top of it. And so I was like, there are times, and not so much lately, but there have been times where I'm like, man, I wish I would have married dating Melvin.
There you have it. And that's why it took me, she took her 5 times. I proposed to her 5 times before she said yes.
That's correct.
She was not an easy catch. But, sometimes you have to be persistent, fellas. If you know that God said this woman's for you, because I kept saying, listen, like we talked about rejection earlier. Nobody likes to say no, especially to a proposal. So when I was like, I'm not asking her again, God, he said, yes, you are. So every time I kept asking her to marry me, she kept saying no. The first time was really kind of like to let's see where she was at, because I saw the ring and I said, listen, we were dating for like a month or whatever. We started dating in August. I proposed in October. And I was like, hey, I know that you're not ready to get married, but this is how serious I am.
We did not start dating in August. We met on August 20th.
We met in August, but we didn't start. Well, that wasn't dating, us talking, and that wasn't date. Well, okay, whatever. September. You want to be all technical? September. You want to tell a story? Go ahead and tell a story. Boom.
No, you go ahead.
You tell it best.
That's right. Listen,
He said 7-Eleven is a sketch. Yes, absolutely, it's a sketch.
But no, Chester said he lived behind that 7-Eleven. So if he would have known you, he could have came to your house and took a quick break. And I think he might have had on dress shoes.
Yeah, I did. What ain't nothing but around the corner. Okay, Mr. Runner.
I know, Kareem. Just because you can leap jump 25,000 feet, everybody can't do that. Be respectful, Kareem. It's not nice. Yeah, we met on August 20th, and then September, whenever I had my birthday party. Yeah, I know, sister, listen. Yes, the proposals were different, Crystal. So my birthday party, September, he came and brought all this stuff. I was like, no, bruh. I was like, no, you need to take it all back. It's too much. Like, it's too much stuff. It's too much.
Just as stupid. These brown fine all look.
That's hilarious. Hey Sabrina. So then that was September. October 6th, okay, was the first time he proposed and said the ring that he brought out, he said that he had picked up a couple of weeks ago. Okay. This was October 6th. I did just jump over a car that said, Kareem, I'm not doing this with you. October 6th, what he did was we had a reading. My friend had put together an amazing play. We had just come from a reading of it. Shout out to Patricia Cuffy Jones. And he was like, I want to read something to you. And, you know, he was always very romantic, reading poems, writing poems. I finally told him, like, once we were married, I told him, I said, there was sometimes you were reading poems to me that he was just making up, and I wanted to be like, shut up. Like, oh my God. Like, this is going on and on and on. But, you know, like, I didn't want to just be all the way. I did not send a representative, but I was just trying to be polite. But there was one time that he was just going on, and I was like, shut up. So he was like, yeah, I want to read you something. So he read me something, and then he pulled out his bag from the back seat and then pulled out the ring box and was like, you know, I want to know, will you marry me? And I was like, you ain't talking to my mama? Like, no, we're not doing it. We ended up talking to my parents. He asked them for my hand, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, but no. Then again, he proposed in November, the next month. He started to get down on one knee, and so did I. And I picked him up and was like, no, 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 no. And then the next time he proposed, we went to Catalina Islands. No, it's not a fairy tale story at all. We went to Catalina Islands, and he was about to ask, and I was like, no. I was like, well, no. This is no. Okay, no. Then he proposed again in March. I came home. He had like balloons, a teddy bear, flowers, notes all on the floor, sticky notes all over the place. And then, you know, this long letter talking about how much he loved me. And he was like, do a Google Hangout with me if the answer is yes, or call me if the answer is no. So I called him. And I was like, no. And then I prayed. I was like, God, when am I supposed to say yes to this man? And then God was like,
5 times, Chester. Go ahead.
The next time. Yeah, I said no 4 times. Okay. And I said yes on the 5th time. He asked me on his birthday, which was kind of slick. But he said God told him to ask me on his birthday because I truly am a present. Mm-hmm. And then and then I was like, yes, I'll marry you. But there was still some hesitation that I had. Yes, 5 times, Chester, 5 times. Work for it. So when I say I wish I would have married the dating Melvin, I mean that sometimes, because I'm like, you worked hard. You worked very hard and you set yourself up. So all that stuff that you did, I'm not saying you have to do all of that, but you got to stay on top of it. Because I didn't marry you because I was like, oh, yes, this is you. No, I married you because you treated me in a way that I had not been treated before.
There you go. What made you say yes? Is that kind
prayer?
Of
Yeah, you know, I the last time I asked God, after the 4th time he proposed, I said, God, when am I supposed to say yes to this man? Because I already felt like God had told me that he was my husband. I was definitely not looking for a husband, had already come out of a relationship. And I was cool. Like, I was living my best life, just enjoying myself. And then along came this dude. And what I appreciated about him. So my girlfriend, India, was like, you know, you need to create a list. And I've always been very anti-list. Like, no, I'm not. We only listening partially. Shut up. I know. Don't pin that. Oh, no, sister. It's okay. So she was like, you need to create a list. And I was always very anti-list because it's like, it's so stupid. You know, oh, I want him to be tall. I want him to be dark. I want him to be this. I want him to be that. And she was like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying create a list of what God says that you are to have and what you are to be. in a relationship. And so I did like this whole extensive study on the Bible, like relationships, what God says. And so I'm like, number one, you must love God. And so, and she was like, and you put them in priority so that if they don't meet number one, then you don't get to make it to number 17, where I'm like, I want you to have nice muscles. You don't make it to 17. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste your time because you don't meet my number one, which is you must love God. So you don't even get to number two. And so I did that, like, number one, you must love God, breaking it down. And then it was like, things like I want him to appreciate my love of music. I want him to dance with me, whether we're in public or in private or whatever. I know, Jay. It's not. So if my lady said no once, it's a wrap. No, you can't do it. 6 feet, 6-pack, 6 figures. Yeah. But, so once he passed my priorities, my must-haves, and then started working his way down to the things that I wanted and began to meet those things. Like, there was a time we would send music to each other. He would send me like, Joe, I Want to Know. And I would send Sade, Somebody Already Broke My Heart. He would send me, what's another song that you would send? He would send all these beautiful love songs, and I'd be like, Janet Jackson, Let's Wait a While. Or, like, just all the love songs he was sending, and I was like, nope. But there was one time he came over to my house. There was a song I wanted him to hear. It was an Anthony Hamilton song. I don't know if it was on the Robert Glasper CD. And I was like, well, listen to this. And I started to walk away. He grabbed my hand and started dancing with me. And I was like, did I tell him that this is what I wanted? And as I'm dancing, and it was like he began to meet those things that were specifically on my list. And those were things that like meant a lot to me. But I think also just prayer, just prayer. What?
Alexis said Alexis talking about you. He was sending "Freak Me, Baby." Y'all ain't slick.
Point of it all. No, it wasn't that one. It wasn't that one, Jay. It wasn't the point of it all. There was, I can't remember what it's an amazing song though. But yeah.
He said, but the Cream said, did you ever send you some Bill? What's it, Bill Paul?
Bill Paul? I don't even know who that is. No, my birthday is September 12th, Chester. But I just, I was like, I'm not going to enter into another relationship where I am just not 100% sure that this is what God has for me.
And it's one of those things, fellas, like I wasn't even looking to get in a relationship. I was going to focus on my career because I was like, I would need to just take a break on dating because I just found out, when I was dating, it was becoming more, it was my focal point. And I was like, you know what? I can't get focused on setting up dates and everything. But when I came across this young lady right here, it was just like God spoke to me and the rest was history. I was like, I made a fool of myself, called the wrong name twice. It was a lot, but I definitely feel like God blessed me with my partner, my life partner, and someone that makes me better. And we have fun. We're able to do stuff like this and just have fun. Not take ourselves too serious at times, but just understanding like life is about having fun and how we can make our lives better by being with each other.
Sabrina, that's facts. That's facts. It's not a list of trivial things because I'm telling you, it's not gonna matter. Let me tell you something. I had gone to the chiropractor and my ankle got jacked up. Okay, jacked up to the point where I could not walk. And so Melvin, God said stalker. I don't think that's not what he said. That's not what God said. Now, is that what Melvin did? A little bit.
Wow.
A little bit, but it's fine. But I couldn't walk. And what my husband did was he literally put me on his back, carried me down the stairs, put me in the car, drove me to the chiropractor to see like, hey, is there something you could do? Picked me up, carried me into the chiropractor. Like those are things that it's like, yeah, I could be with the finest man. And I'm not saying my husband's not the finest man. I'm saying I could be with like Trevante.
Wow.
I know that was very specific. Was that a little disrespectful?
Hey, listen, no. Listen, the brother is a good-looking brother. Hey, Go ahead, have at it.
Okay. So I'm just saying it could be whatever that six pack, six figures, six whatever thing Kareem said. It could be that, but if that person is not willing to literally carry me, then it's not going to matter. That six pack, six figures is not going to do anything for me. I needed a man that understood his role as my husband and what it was, and making sure that he was going to be able to be there for me in the good times and the bad times.
And it's so crazy. People will still remember that to this day. Like when we did the conference with the couple conference, and people still talk about that. I remember when you carried your wife in your bag, and it's like, that's nothing. That's what you're supposed to do. Your partner is hurt or whatever. Like, I mean,
but
it would be crazy.
Spider though. Who said that? Who said that?
You still talking about that?
Who's in here?
What Alexa says? He gonna get y'all arrested. Wow. Nah, I mean, I didn't stalk her. You know, I was very persistent as far as getting her number. Once I got her
he
number,
didn't. I will say he did not stalk me. But he was very persistent. And when we were first dating, it wasn't even a full month, and I was just, Melvin was already ready to like get married and lock it down, and I was just like, well, what if I want to see other people, y'all? When I tell you I woke up to a 4-page letter on my email with him like breaking down, why he was such. Look, don't let me try to find it. I can find it and read it. And then he ended the letter with, he was like, your name is Kelly Michelle Jenrette. You are 5'3". Your shoe size is a 6, 6.5. Your favorite color is purple. You have 4 brothers and a sister. And I was like, what is happening? Yeah, special.
Yeah,
special.
Listen, man, she wouldn't date nobody else. You my girl. You my girl. She said,
yeah. But sister, you're right. Like, it's not. This is definitely not hey, go out and do it. Like, be wise, and I think it also depends on the woman as well. I was never like, yo, stop, but if a woman is like, okay, stop, you're doing too much, then stop. And I feel like if I would shut it down, stop, if he wouldn't have, then like he said in my letter, I have 4 brothers. And I got 2 dads. And I'm not even talking about the people that I have out here that would have shut him down.
But tell them about what your dad said the first time I proposed to you. It was within the month of dating.
My dad even told me before Melvin proposed that Melvin was going to propose to me. And why did he tell me that? Because my dad and Melvin were so similar in so many ways. It was a little creepy. But my dad proposed to my mom after the first week of them dating, and they celebrated 30 years last year. So, he was like, I'm telling you, he's going to ask you to marry him. And I was like, well, okay, whatever. So then when we did talk to them, he was like, what did I tell you? Like, well, you did. You told me. So, yeah.
He said, sister, you are a blessing. I know where you come from.
Hey, hello, Jelani. Hello.
No, but also, and the fellas, also this, sometimes what happened as well is that I was so on this trip of getting the woman that understanding the things that come with it as well, and understanding the person, because it's so many different layers to us as people. But sometimes when we rush into it, when people get married quick and we rush into it, we don't really get to know people. And I started learning certain things. We learned certain things about each other, and we're like, man, okay, sometimes we should have maybe put a pause or a halt to things just to kind of get to know each other a little bit more, because there's some things that I mean, maybe things about me that she was like, oh, if I don't know this, I wouldn't have maybe said yes then, or things that I know about her, because we were just so caught up in the moment. We enjoyed each other's company. Like I was going through a hurting moment where I just lost my father, so I knew that I wanted to have a woman that I should spend the rest of my life with. And I think what made me move faster is when I met Kelly and was like, man, she's an amazing woman. And I was, in the grieving process, and I felt like, she helped make my life better. So it was like, man, I'm putting all my energy into securing her. And, we all coming into a situation with things. And sometimes you got to figure out how to get to those things. We did things the hard way. But the beautiful thing is that at the end of the storm was a rainbow, and we continue to build and learn about each other and build and figure out like how can we make each other better.
That sounds real good. At the end of the storm, there was a rainbow. 'Cause I didn't know that we were gonna make it
That's bars.
Yeah, bars.
No, but that's
because I was
real
gonna
talk.
be behind bars.
And that's real talk, because sometimes, man, like marriages, I'm saying sometimes, all the time marriages are hard, but it's about the individuals coming together as one to make it easier. Because it's like, it was some times when we be in arguments, I'm like, I'm out, I'm done. It's vice versa. So it's like, what I don't like to do is argue. Not saying that we never have any arguments, but now we can probably count on our hands how many arguments we have, and we don't have too many, because we learned to, like, that's not gonna better us. That's not gonna get this. We don't get the best of ourselves when we argue. We can have disagreements. When we have arguments where it's like, I can't stand you, I can't stand you, then it's like, who benefits?
Mm-hmm.
Because this girl right here, she's like a lawyer when it comes to arguments, and you just can't win. Even if you're all right, you're wrong.
Well, that's not true. I mean, you're seldom right, though. You know what I mean?
That's correct. That is correct. I was like, man, I can't never, man. I was like 95%. She's right majority of the time.
95 though.
97. Okay, 97.5. 98.9. Okay, 98.9. Okay, no, you got it. 99. Okay, 99%.
You can win. I just shut up and let my girlfriend win.
There you go.
No, Kareen, I don't want to be right all the time. In fact, there have been times where I told Melvin, I don't want to be right. I don't always want to be right. I want to be wrong. But my husband just insists. He insists on making me be right all the time. That's not on me. That's on him. Like, I tell him.
She said she need Kevin to watch this.
More like a car accident lawyer. I hate you, Kareem.
I'm gonna pin that one. That's bars.
Oh, you gonna pin that? Okay. Because you do know that this live is gonna end, and then we're still gonna be in the house together, right?
Kareem, you give me.
Want to keep that in? No, that's fine. Oh, okay. What's up? What's up? Mm-hmm. Kareem, don't be trying to start no stuff in this house.
So listen. So tell the story of how you and Alexis Field met. Field Jackson met.
Oh, Alexis and I. So we were auditioning for this pilot together, and it was called the Untitled Leslie Odom Jr. pilot. What's doing things the hard way? That's what Sabrina said.
What's doing things the hard way? Not slowing down and listening to God. Sometimes we want what we want. And it was times where I was just going. And I didn't take in consideration of, like, how does it make her feel? Because I understand that I know what I want, but what does she want in this moment? And meeting her where she is. Sometimes we try to meet people where we are instead of meeting people where they are. And I think that was the thing. It's like I had to step back when she's like, when I tell her I love her, and she couldn't tell me that, but she had another way of telling me by saying I like you a lot. That was me having to understand, okay, she's not there to say I love you. There's multiple ways to say I love you. It doesn't always have to be in the form that we're used to. But if you know a person cares about you the same way, then it doesn't matter if they say I love you or not.
Yeah, and I think it was like, yes, hindsight is something that should be foresight. And I just started praying for foresight, because I think, we met August 20th, 2014, got married November 28th, 2015. And look, the first 2 years of the marriage, I was like, let me just set up camp at this Van Nuys courthouse, because we're going to get divorced at any minute. Like, this is insane. But there were things like, if I had to do it over again, there were conversations that I would have had, not just with Melvin, but with other people that was in his life, and you talk about having a blended family and the struggles that come with that. I come from a blended family. My mom had 3 kids. My dad, I now call him dad. had 3 kids of his own, and just seeing what that was. And I think it was a beautiful blessing to grow up and see that. But it was also, I won't call it a curse because it was never a curse, but it was challenging because there was still an expectation that I had going into our marriage where, no, I'm not expecting the kids to call me mom. My parents have been married for 31 years. I just started calling my dad maybe 15 years ago. So I understood that, but there were still things that I just was not prepared for at all. And so the challenges with that. So just being able to say, hold on, like, yes, but let's really talk through some stuff and have the honest conversations. We did a 12-week marriage prep class. That was amazing. That definitely brought up some things in us. And we had a lot of intense fellowship is what they called it. They didn't call it fighting. They called it intense fellowship. We had a lot of intense fellowship. But there were just still things.
Let's say argument. We don't want to think people that way we fist fighting, but arguments.
Oh yeah. No. There's never a laying on of hands in that kind of way. Because I'm not that chick. And he's not that guy. But yeah, so just doing things the hard way, just rushing, just wanting to do it your own way and not really taking the time to slow down and ask the real tough questions.
Yeah, and to piggyback off that, like what I learned is that I rushed into it in a sense of, well, I have 3 boys, and I needed to have a conversation with them in regards to what things would look like with me marrying Kelly and how the things they liked her. And I just didn't set it up properly to where we really became a blended family. And it was because of what I was going through. Like I said, I was going through a loss of my father. So it was just like, I needed what I needed, and it wasn't about them. I know that was selfish, and I had to, learn that the hard way. But I just felt like that was something important that I need to do. But I feel like they were older, and it wasn't like the kids were always here, so it was a little different. But I still feel like I needed to have a conversation with them. It's like, hey, this is what I'm planning. This is how it's gonna look, and really get it together so that everything was put together the right way. And that was the thing that I regret. I don't have too many regrets, but that's one of the things that's like I wish I could have done differently.
Physical violence is not okay. Physical violence is not okay. And that's definitely something that we don't tolerate. We don't tolerate. But yes, that's what they called it, Kareem. Intense fellowship. Because it gets intense.
Right. Now back to the question, how did you and Alexis Fields meet? Fields with the S.
With a S, get it right.
With an S.
Oh. I was like, what? Yes, so we met. We were both auditioning for the Untitled Leslie Odom Jr. pilot. And it was a Friday where we both had a working session because we were going to do the test on Monday. I think I got there first, and then I went, and as I was leaving, I saw her in the room because they, allowed us to have our own separate spaces. I saw her, and I was like, okay, who that pretty young thing? Okay. Then I left, and I heard them call her name. I heard them say, Alexis, you ready? So I was like, okay, her name is Alexis. Okay, got it. And then it came to Monday, the day of the test for the pilot, and I got there first again. And then Alexis got there. We kind of, smiled politely. And then she actually got up and walked over and introduced herself to me. And then, it was kind of cool. We're still very polite, still talking to each other. But still still studying and trying to prep. And then we're told that we're going to go up. They tell us the order that we're going to go in. And then we go up to the room to do the test. Alexis goes in first, and then I go in, and then we're just kind of both sitting out there still talking with one another. Then we're told that we're going to have time before the next test starts. So there was a studio test and a network test. And we had 45 minutes before the next one started. And if we wanted to go down to the commissary to get something to eat, we could. And so Alexis was like, yeah, I'm going to go down. I was like, I will too. So we go down together. we go to the commissary. We're getting, trying to figure out what we're going to get. I think I got a juice or something. It was an expensive juice. And Alexis was like, I'll pay for it. And I was like, what? And she was like, you pay for my juice. And, it was just, it was such a cool energy. And she was like, and don't forgive me if I'm saying this wrong, sister. But at whoever said it, we were just like, this isn't a competition. Like whatever God has for us, he has for us. If one of us doesn't get it, he has something else in store for us. It was very much like, hey, we're in this together. I didn't see her as competition. She didn't see me as competition. We were able to just kind of just be there with one another and, genuinely rooting for the other person's success, whatever that meant, just having a great audition, booking the role, whatever, finding new and creative ways or whatever it was. And so we both went in and did the second test, came out. Now we're just, talking with one another. She was sharing with me how this was like one of the first projects or the first project back for her after she had taken a break. She talked about her. Did you mention? Yeah, she had mentioned that she was married and had taken a break for 13 years. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong. Yeah, it was, she said it was such a safe space. It was, and it just, I feel like we just let our guards down and we just, we were just like there. We were two sisters there with each other. It just immediately felt like, oh, we're two sisters, not two women in here auditioning, trying to like fight for this role. It was very beautiful. And so then the casting director came down.
She said 15 years. Wow, 15 years.
15. 15. At that time? Well, who was 13? Where did I get 13 from? I probably just made that up. It's fine. Yes, 15 years. Or maybe you had taken a break for 13 years.
Keep your camera still, ma'am.
Sorry. Well, it's okay. So then the casting director came down and she was like, I have good news for the both of you. Better claim them 2 extra years. Hilarious. See, right. Thank you. So she was like, I have good news for the both of you. And you're just going to have to trust me on this, but it's good news for the both of you. And then we're kind of looking at each other like, okay, I don't know what that means. She was like, just going to have to trust me. We'll reach out to your reps. I did not make it up, Kareem. She just said I was right. So she was like, we'll reach out to your reps. And so we were getting ready to leave. And she was like, well, wait, don't go, because I'm sure they're going to want to talk to you. And so we were like, okay. And so then casting director goes back upstairs. And now we're like, well, maybe they're going to make us sisters. Like, I don't know. Like, what is it going to be? Like, I don't know. So then, because I think at that point, she was crying. The casting director was like in tears. She was like, I'm just so emotional. And then we were both like, okay, what is that? So she goes back up and then she comes back down. She was like, okay, so here it is. Alexis, we would love for you to be our, why can't I remember her name, sister? Our Karina?
Well, I feel like you're making it up.
I know. I feel like I'm making that up too. Yes, she was in tears. What was the character's name? Kay. I don't know.
Well, Pastor Prophet, Hope Dealer.
Okay. All right, Nikki. So she was like, so Alexis, we would love to be our Nakina. Okay, so I was kind of close. It's fine. She was like, we would love for you to be our Nakina. And then she was like, so Kelly, that means would you be our hope? And, we were both like, wait, what? Keith, nope, Keith, no, I'm not gonna do it with you. Yes, Nakina, thank you, Kareen, thank you, Nikki, I see, Karina. And so, they were like, this has never happened before. And we're in tears because Alexis had shown me something she had tweeted. I don't remember exactly when she had tweeted it, but she was just like, I feel like I'm not crying. I got something in my eye. Yeah. Nikina was originally a guest star, but what she said was, would you be our Nikina? And she's a series regular. But Nikina was made a series regular because of Alexis. So let's be very clear. The character of Nikina was a guest star, but because Alexis was so fire, they made that character a series regular. And so Alexis had shared that a tweet that she had put up saying that she just felt like she was going to book a series regular role. Now, keep in mind, she hadn't been out there auditioning. Like, this was her first gig back. And then I showed her the cover of my Facebook page that has this bracelet with the word hope on it. And so it was just very much like, oh my God, like these things coming to fruition. And they, the producers and director was just like, you all were both so amazing. We had to have you both as a part of this project. And I feel like the foundation that Alexis and I had built, where there wasn't this spirit of competition between us, and it was just love. I feel like that freed us up to just go in the room and have fun and not carry that like, oh, I gotta book this, or I wonder what she's doing, or you know what I mean? It was just like, let's just go in and have fun. And I feel like that translated. And I mean, you got dope actors and people just like, yeah, no, we need them both. And so that's the story. And then we found out our older sisters, they're both named Kim. And our married last names are Jackson.
Yeah. Sabrina, it didn't get picked up, unfortunately.
Huh? It did not get picked up. It didn't get picked up. They passed on it. God said no. That's what he said.
Kareen over here dropping jokes. Kareen, somebody said when you stand up coming out.
Peter, pop off. You know what, Kareen? Get yourself out of here. I'm trying to tell people how to join. If people go to my IG, can they join?
Yeah.
We are really sisters. We are really sisters though. And it was such a beautiful thing, the relationship that we established, and she came along at the perfect time in my life. And I was so grateful to God and so grateful to her, to have her in life. You might not know her, Kareen, but her sister's name is Kim Fields. Yeah, you may not know her. So this
is good.
Hey, Aaron.
What up, Aaron?
Aaron.
Well,
you think Aaron?
That's my DC accent.
Okay. Thank you, Alexis. Please tell us goodbye. I don't know how you kick people out of your IG live. But what y'all need to do, y'all need to go to Alexis's page. She did that Penny monologue that her mama did. Oh, Good Times. And I mean, it's probably gonna give you nightmares, but you'll be okay. Yes, we're together. I'm in the guest room. He's downstairs in the kitchen. Keith, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Listen, we having fun though, but this is
yes, B. Kim Fields.
There you go. He didn't.
And I saw she had doesn't she have a movie coming out on Lifetime? It already aired. Sister, what is it? She did. She did have an iron. She had an iron. I'm telling you, go to her page. She had an iron.
Whiskey. She said, "We're drinking whiskey. It wasn't my fault."
Hey, Ish. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm going over to her page. Please. I'm telling you. I mean, you're gonna have nightmares. Is all this right here in the eyes? I was kind of like, oh no, she's crazy in real life. A question of faith. Yes, a question of faith. Mm-hmm. You love everybody in this room. Have you been drinking, Kareem? Okay.
So listen, so what is something you would recommend people to watch? Like some things that we've been watching. What would you recommend? Some good TV shows and things to watch during this
Thanks,
quarantine
Keith.
situation.
Definitely, I would say check out Uncorked, a movie on Netflix. It's really good. I'm sorry, Keith. I'm sorry to hear that. Um, yeah, Uncorked is really good on Netflix. We've been watching Little Fires Everywhere. Woo, on Hulu. That thing is The Looming Tower. Okay,
Yeah, I saw some of that. That is pretty good. It's
need to get on that. Only Jesus juice, non-alcoholic. Yeah, okay. Okay, Kareem. Yes, I love it. I think people are going to check you out, Alexis. Um, yeah, Little Fires Everywhere. We finished Godfather of Harlem on Epics.
yes.
I hear word on the street is All Day and a Night starring Jeffrey Wright and Ashton Sanders is supposed to be hitting Netflix on May 1st. That's what I heard. The word is on the street.
Co-star Kelly Jenrette, Emmy-nominated Kelly Jenrette.
Sister, you have no idea. Oh, Ozark Keith, bruh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That last episode, the last scene, done.
Oh, hey, what is the other one we was watching? The morning show, right?
Oh,
The
morning show, Apple TV. I'm watching Servant also on Apple TV. M. Night Shyamalan is producing it, and I think directed the first episode. That one is like, ooh, creepy. I got 2 more episodes to finish that. Yeah, what else we watching? Morning show, yeah. Oh, sister, please do not walk, run to your TV to watch the 2nd and 3rd season of Ozark. I feel like that 3rd season they were like, okay, we coming for your throat.
Yeah.
Servant is good. It's a little creepy. It's a little creepy. Yeah, Shyamalama and Little Fires Everywhere. Nikki, it's on Hulu, starring Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington. And old girl that played young Kerry Washington, I was like, you better do your homework, sis.
Dang, what's her name from she was on The Shy? Dang.
Tony, not Tony.
Not Tony. Yeah, she's dope. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's really dope. I'm writing something next week.
Write it.
Somebody was
Okay,
saying,
yeah, we do need to watch Black AF.
Yeah, we gotta watch that. Someone was saying like how they love how vulnerable we are as a couple, it's real out in these married streets. It's important. I feel like, I always say like, how can we be a blessing to other people? Like, we don't have all the answers. We're not like, oh, we just have it all together. It's like, no, we had to figure it out. We're still figuring it out. We're figuring out how to be one. It's an important thing to do, just to figure things out, but also be real and understand where we are. Like, we are only almost 5 years in our marriage. So it's kind of like we still are figuring out what God has for us, what he wants us to do. But we know that definitely we can be a blessing to other couples, whether they get married. We tell people, listen, my wife always say, if you have trying to get married, what would you say, babe? People they want to get married, with advice?
Wait, I say, on the Lord. Wait on the Lord.
Yeah, take baby steps. I wouldn't say our story is definitely, a story, but I wouldn't like tell people like to do things that I did just because you have to everyone's not ready for that. If that's not who you are, that's who you are, but you just have to understand, like, slow down. I was very quick to fall in love, fast paced, like I'm a woo and do all these things, but it's just like sometimes you just have to really take time and get to know a person and understand like life is going to come with challenges, and you want to make sure that you got the right person next to you to go through those challenges and those storms. So we always
it's real.
Yeah,
it's real.
Prayer definitely changes everything. Continue to pray with each other, for each other.
Mm-hmm. I used to joke that when people would see me, they would be like, Jesus, because my husband was going to force me to be like Jesus, to the point where I was just going to be unrecognizable. Thank you.
Yeah, and I was
Well,
reading it. Hold on, I was reading what was it? You said, yeah. Yeah, man, like it's just, it's one of those things we got to continue to just please God and have fun at the same time too, prayer and communication.
all day. All
Y'all
day.
got any questions out there for us before we jump off this thing? But now, I tell you, I wanted to do this with my wife. I said this is something that we should do. We're in this situation. We're all going through this quarantine, this coronavirus thing together, and it's unfortunate what we're going through. But understanding that we got to make the best of it because we're all going through it. Especially as actors, it's really hard for people right now. People who book stuff that now they don't know when it's going to happen, or people that were auditioning, the momentum has stopped. What do you do in this process? So, what would you tell people who are actors what to do during this process, during this downtime, so to say?
Well, I want to just address Keith's comment about and apparently being in different rooms helps. Let me tell you something. It does. Okay, it does. The first 6 months of our marriage, we lived in 2 separate places because he had just. My husband is demanding lasagna. I don't know who he thinks he married. I'm gonna make it though. You gonna make it though. You gonna make it. I love it. Love you, sister. Now I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah. We lived in 2 separate places because he had just moved into a new apartment because we weren't like 6 months in advance planning we were going to get married on November 28th. It was just, he was like, I'm tired of not being able to make love to my wife because I was like, we need to really like no ringy, no dingy. So let's try to, stay in that lane. And so, I mean, that's not the only reason why we got married, but I think that was really what kind of pushed him to be like, okay, so can we get married tomorrow? Like, he actually said, let's go to the courthouse, and get married. And I was like, okay, calm your whole self down. So he ended up moving into another place and was on a year lease. And so he couldn't break the lease. He had to find somebody to fulfill the lease for him so he wouldn't get charged all that money. So it took him a while to find someone. But when I tell you that I was like, I loved, then that being able to be like, you know what, I'm cool. I'm gonna go to my house. You stay here at your house. But that's that, it couldn't stay like that. And I'm grateful, that we are under one roof and when we were able to finally be under one roof, but space is essential. I said before, I'm one of 6 kids. And so being able to have my own space, I love and enjoy that. So, sometimes Melvin will be downstairs and I'll be upstairs or vice versa. Like space is crucial.
Right. And this is one of the first relationships like I've been in where we didn't live together. And I think that helped too, because, when you sometimes, I mean, this is not to knock anybody who's doing it, but I think that for what we learned is that when you live together and you're not married, you're doing married things, and it kind of sets you up for failure in a sense. And sometimes you need to know, like me, how it is to not live apart. Of course, you know that, but it's like when you start living together, and it's like say you break up, then it's like now it's one of us got to move out. And it's like in marriage, it's like we're getting our places. This is our place together. It's not my place, not her place. It's like our place together. So that was the difference that I experienced in this relationship.
I hear you.
Tay said, yes, being on top of one another. That's what you said? That's what you talked to? Mm-mm. It's not healthy.
Mm-hmm. No, and Desiree said, I had to ease my husband into that. He's the only child and I'm one of 3. Yeah. My husband he's one of 3, but growing up, maybe one of 2.
Yeah.
And so he definitely was definitely more, I don't want to say clingy because that's not what it is, but like
I was clingy. I will
great.
I will admit
Great.
that I was clingy.
Good.
Yeah.
Great. Good.
And I had to check myself, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm under her too much. But Eron said, when do we get the Mel and Kel project? Hey man, we trying to put something together. Like that's why we're doing stuff like this, because our energy is amazing. People, say we should have our own show. If it's God's will, we'll make it happen. we got hits over here. We got classical moments that we can just write about. So maybe we'll do something
Yeah.
this quarantine time.
Yes, you do, Keith. Next time we gotta hook up. Me and my girlfriend moved in together right before the quarantine, so now we're pretty much married. Yeah, the only difference is like if you're like, nah, I'm not interested anymore, then it's, y'all don't live together anymore. We don't have that luxury, And that's what this world will tell you. If you're not happy, I mean, if he don't make you happy, then, just get a divorce. It's not a reason for you to get divorced because you're not happy. But we don't have time for all that, so.
Okay, answer that last question. What I asked you about what actors can do during this time.
Meet yourself, love yourself, be kind to yourself. I saw someone had posted something that I thought was very beautiful. Kylie posted this, amazing actress. She was the lead of the Fox show Pitch that got canceled, but she was just talking about how we need to take this time to just love on ourselves, get to know ourselves, be kind to ourselves, so I think now is a time for you. You can also do the things that you talked about you didn't have time to do because you were so busy. And then also maybe it's just time to be still, be still and know that I am God. And so, yeah, I mean, whether you're an actor or not, I think just take time to get to have conversations with yourself. Yeah.
There you go. Good answer. Good answer. I think that if you ain't got no question, y'all question for us, we about to wrap up. So if you got a question, shoot it real quick. We can answer it. We got about 2 minutes and change before we cut off again.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's time to go.
We in there. We have. All right. So yeah.
Candy girl.
What up, Candy? Sound like you underneath the water now.
That's so sweet.
Oh wow. Are you gonna do that? Why? Now you sound like a lamb. Sheep.
Candy girl.
All right.
You're welcome. All right, Ty, you too, man. Thank you all for entertaining us. Love you, Tracy. Yeah, I was supposed to be doing a conference call with my line sisters.
Oh,
but
really?
I was trying to be a good wife. I said,
she been ready.
AJ, listen. You understand what I'm saying? You understand? You understand what I'm saying? But this is what I'm talking about. My husband will be on live all day. Y'all know that. Y'all know that.
Whatever.
Okay. Thank you, Jacksons.
Yes. Why?
Yes, Desiree, I'm oop.
All right, we out. Love y'all.
All right.
Be blessed.
Bye.
Jackson's out.